What is up? This is Los. I'm recording for the first time in forever, and it feels like that. And it's not fun. It's not fun anymore. Make this stop. This is probably about an hour and a half of fiddling around with all sorts of settings and whatever else that I have to try and figure out here. I am very lucky and fortunate enough to have a new setup here, and I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to make everything work together, and like I don't did I mention no yeah in the Discord, in the Future Monkeys Discord, I brought up that I have been sitting on this recording for a few weeks now, maybe months. I don't know, maybe, but I'm trying to play with new software. I was not using Audacity anymore. I'm trying not to use it anymore. I found a new thing called Reaper. It's not new, actually. It's like pretty freaking old, but it's new to me. Never used it before. And it's a great program. It's a lot of bells and whistles compared to Audacity, but I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm trying to work with it as I go, and little by little I'm getting there. But it's together with the new setup here, the new laptop, it's proving to be quite a task because it's like everything at one time is like whoosh, and just smacking me back and forth, and I don't know what I'm doing. But hopefully this gets together, this works, and I'm you probably hearing the duct tape holding all this together right now. But maybe I'll get things more situated, more on track, and then do something here and there a little bit more. I've been very, very lazy with a lot of stuff. I've been very, very much just sticking at home, doing things that have to be done around the house, or taking care of the kids and everything. It's just been very crazy with a lot of stuff. It's something that I am trying to handle on a day-to-day basis. Like it's very stressful in a lot of ways for a lot of stuff. The kids, I've mentioned in other places, the kids are, they're both back in school, and this is Florida, so it's basically like, go learn how to swim in the ocean kind of thing, throwing them to the wolves. But they're doing their best to stay safe, and our county here is they have a mask mandate, against the governor's wishes, and their schools in particular are pretty good. I mean, even before the mask mandate, they were still pretty good. They only had maybe about 2 or 3% of the school, did not want to wear any mask, so that's just like eyeballing it. Whenever I dropped them off, that's what I noticed. Whenever all the kids were outside, or whenever I was picking them up, it's something that, compared to other counties that I've seen, where it's the opposite, that there are only about 2 or 3% of the kids that are wearing masks. So those are the counties that are getting entire schools just shut down because of COVID cases being so rampant, and just quarantining entire classrooms and all that stuff. So it's it's scary in some other counties, but here it's pretty good. So we got that going for us. But I'm here rambling about all that stuff. That maybe I should have my own show. I don't know. Anyway, hopefully this is working. Hopefully this is recording right. I mean, it looks like it is. So here's the intro for this show. This show, it has I was joined by Beardy. Because that's what he does. And I was also joined by Skari. And we did a thing. It was like Future Monkeys all over again, because I don't have issues with that or anything. It's not like I'm seeing a therapist or anything. Thank you, Beardy. But it was a lot of fun. It was catching up mostly with with Skari and Beardy again, and it's been a while since we talked with her. So we were letting her shine, letting her talk about what's going on in her life and how things have been with her, with dealing with the pandemic and stuff. I think it's been even like before the quarantine and all that stuff that we've talked to her. So we were just trying to let her catch up, let her get stuff off her chest and things like that. So and yeah, there you go. There is my AC kicking on, so you could probably hear that. And yeah, so the old song with Audacity, I was able to edit all those background noises out, but this is gonna be fun. We're gonna see that I'm probably gonna be crawling back to Audacity, like, I'm sorry, take me back. But anyway, here's the show. I think this is episode number 15. Here's me and Skari and Beardy. So it was a good time, and it was a good conversation, and I got to see what they're up to, and it was fun. So I haven't done the show in a while, so enjoy it and take it easy.
So, I hate to interrupt us chatting, but should we start chatting on the show?
This is how Los does it now. He just sneaks it in. He doesn't do any introductions.
Wait, what?
He does like a 10-minute monologue in the beginning. So it'll sound like something like, yeah, so I got to talk to Beardy. And
oh, yeah, he's still doing that, huh?
Yeah, and it was a good time. It was a good conversation, and I got to see what they're up to. And it was fun, and yeah, so I
see, when I asked what the format was, these are the kind of things that you could have told me.
That's what he does sometimes. Sometimes he has time.
Have we started the show or not, MFers?
That I don't have any part in this anymore. I'm no longer co-owner of the podcast.
Los.
He probably would go wrangle a kid or something. Los, we can't hear you. Well, how about this? I'll put it in your court. Sometimes we'll do some splitsies. This conversation episode, half a topic. Is there a topic that you would like to discuss?
Well,
something
there are several topics I could be discussing, yes. But I'd want to know if we're recording first, obviously. But yeah, I've been up to. I have a wonderful story about how I tried to blow up a company and nearly succeeded.
Literally, wonderful, or figuratively.
Well.
Why can't it be both?
I can't talk about it for legal reasons. But no, really, it was just figuratively. It was a wonderful, wonderful time that I didn't discuss in Discord. So,
hey,
because
we'll play it on me. Let's hear this.
Well, I want to wait until Los gets back because I really don't know if we're recording.
Yeah,
I've been here the whole time. What are you talking about,
dude? Yeah. Why do you do this? Why are you like this? Why is this you?
Look, look. All right, the kids, they were always getting up, and we have like a little motion camera kind of thing. And I always put it in the hallway, so it's always like tells me when they get up, and I forgot to put it out. So I wanted to go put it out. And the wife was like, "Oh, since you're here, give me a diaper." And, you know, for the baby, not for her. So, you know,
not for you.
So, you know, she's been having a bad back all day. So I was like, "Oh, let me change her, you know, while I'm here." You know, so that's what I was doing.
Yeah, that's a nice story. So are we recording or not?
We've been recording. I'm always recording.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
My God. A simple fucking question. Just, it could have been, but no, I need the Los answer, the 45 paragraph fucking Los answer to are we recording?
And so then there's a diaper and
this is why I can't be nice on this show, Los. This is
you're
it.
lucky. You're lucky I'm not like bringing in everything, like the weather and the lighting and that. I got the flameless candles lit. You know, they're all they're going and everything.
So do you want to hear my story or not?
So what are we talking about? All right. Wait. First, is this the show? Are we doing a show? Is this pre-show? Or are we like, you know?
All right. Here's the start of the show right now. Here it is.
There you go.
See, that happened. Okay. So, anyways, hey guys, it's Skari. How's it going?
Yes.
I missed you all.
Skari. Yeah, it's like you never left. That's what it's like.
It's like that. It feels like that, doesn't it? It's feeling like that right now. But you know, I would like to thank Beardy for leaving me at the altar so many years ago when we say, "Hey, let's get the band back together," and then Beardy pulled out like a real dick. And now he's been on how many shows, and this is my first time, and you all are in major trouble because, you know, just, like, you know.
Six shows over the course of, what, two years?
2 years.
Yeah, let's be real, okay? Let's not think, like, I forgot who it was I told to. Oh yeah, it was somebody else on Instagram that I was talking to that I had told before. I was like, "Hey, I'm doing a podcast. Would you like to be on it? I wouldn't mind talking to you and interviewing and all that stuff." And that was like 2 years ago, and I never got back to her. Never did any of that. So I told her like the other day. I was like, "Hey, I haven't been like going crazy producing shows or anything. I've got like 12 episodes. So it's like, it's not just you. Sorry."
Yeah. Well, it's fine. It's fine. I just feel hurt, but that's okay. It's behind me. You know, it's fine. I hadn't been doing anything to speak about anyway. So, I've been gone from the community for almost a year, so really I haven't been around.
You disappeared. Like, I like to think that it wasn't because of us. And
it wasn't. It absolutely was not because of you. Absolutely not. I'm actually just giving you shit because that's what I do. Mm-hmm. But no, I disappeared for a year, just honestly, just because of COVID depression. I just didn't feel like talking to anybody. So I just didn't. I stopped talking to everybody.
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all.
That sounds about right. I mean, it's not.
It was the opposite. I doubled down. I was like, "Oh, I need to talk to someone. So let me talk to Los and catch up and see what he's doing." Because I know he was going through that too.
Yeah.
And like, as you know, as most were.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But
so
I
won't
understand that side of things. Like, I can't talk or deal right now.
Yeah. COVID depression was real bad for a year, but it's fine now. I got back to work. That helped a lot, getting back to work. And I got back so I had a part-time job, and this is the company that I tried to blow up. I had a part-time job that was just for fun, that did not pay worth anything. It's really not important what the product was, but I think it's known that I worked at a dispensary for a while. That's not the point of the story. But that's where I was working. So at the same time, I was trying to move. And
Oh yeah,
I,
congrats on
huh,
that, by the way.
yeah, I moved out of my terrible apartment after 4 years. It was
Mm-hmm.
excellent. And we live in a really nice duplex now. So that's very good. Actually, things are going swimmingly all around for me. But to get back to my blowing up a company story, um, these guys, they were not paying very well at all. So people would call out all the time and pretend to be sick. Like, they were paying so low, I'm embarrassed to say how low I was being paid, because it was $8.50 an hour.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty
Yeah.
low.
So yeah, that's what I was making when I was 20 years ago.
Yeah,
So
same. Yeah.
yeah.
Were
So
there
but
like benefits? I mean, not like obviously not healthcare, but like massive discounts on product or anything that would be somewhat alluring to anyone. Or
well, here's the thing. It's really hard to get into the dispensary industry unless you know somebody or have had prior experience doing something dispensary related, that sort of thing. And because of that, people would end up working there just to get their foot in the door, basically. So the turnaround was incredibly high. I actually there twice. I worked there once in the fall, and then I got offered another job that paid $13.50, which was a heck of a lot more than $8.50. But that job didn't work out because it was over the phone stuff, and it just really was not working for me. So I ended up quitting that job. So I went back to the dispensary just to get my foot in the door, because I was thinking, maybe as a part-time job, I'd like to work at a different dispensary, get a manager job position, something like that. Because I could stay home with Netha and, at night or over weekends, that sort of thing, and bring in a little more income, but still stay home with Netha most of the time.
and it's definitely an industry that is, blowing up.
Absolutely. And, it's a product that I believe in. It's helped me a lot with my depression. So I don't want to get off on a tangent on that because it's not about that. But yeah, it's an incredibly lucrative industry, and I was interested enough in the medicine of the product because I enjoy herbal plants of all varieties. I'm just kind of a plant nerd. That I was interested to maybe become a manager somewhere, not there because they were not paying enough for the stress, but somewhere. But see, what had happened was I told them, these wonderful people who I actually really did like, but on a good day they were very nice people. I told them, under no circumstances will I be coming in on the day that I'm moving. Pretend I'm dead.
Yeah, fairly reasonable. I mean, given that it's a part-time position, you don't have any PTO or anything. Yeah, just, hey, don't schedule me on this one day.
Yeah. Also, by the way, do not call me to come in and cover for anyone. So anyway, my first call was at 7:30 saying, Carrie, I need you to come in. If you don't come in, I will be fired.
That's wild.
Yeah. And I text back, Jason, if they fire you instead of helping you, these people are idiots and you deserve so much better. That's the last I ever heard from Jason. So, anyhow, well, it's not the last I heard from him, I think, one more time. And then They called in or made, they didn't even, there was this kid that was working there who had just started, and he had seizures. He was very prone to seizures, and he needed to take his medication at certain times. So anyway, they decided to have this kid, because I refused to come in because I was moving all day, and that's not something I'm just not going to come in. They decided to make this guy stay all day. So anyway, I get a call at 6:30 from the not the assistant manager, but one from the other key holders. Carrie, I need you to come in. Caleb is having seizures.
I'm sorry, I'm not a doctor. I'm glad you think so highly of me, but you need to call an ambulance.
Yes.
Other than that,
Yes.
that's none of my concern.
Yes. I'm like, I'm sorry. Please call Jason. Please call Ryan, our district manager. And I'm sorry, I'm moving. I will not be coming in. By this time, I am livid. I'm shaking. So anyways, they get a hold of Ryan apparently, and Ryan gets on the chat and blasts us all and says, literally everyone dropped the ball.
Jesus
I am
Christ.
so disappointed in everyone. So I said, no. Everything that was wrong that could happen did happen. And I don't know that everybody did everything wrong, but I know a lot of us didn't. And I am not okay with this. But this is not the whole, like, this is not even, like, this is half of the story. So the next day, the one of the kids that was going to come in, his grandma has an emergency. And she's, like, in the hospital. And he calls in crying, but the manager, not even the manager's wife, says, no, just go into work. You have to go into work. I'm shocked the kid showed up. I was working that morning, so he comes in, he's crying, I give him a hug, I tell him, I'm so sorry, we'll see if we can find you some coverage. And he was instructed to find his own coverage. I was like, okay, whatever at this point, this is company policy, so I'm just not gonna, whatever, he's here. And we talk the whole day, and he ends up quitting. And
Midday?
midday.
Good for him.
And I do not blame him. I basically told him he should. And at the same time, I tendered my own resignation. And said I'll finish out the week. But yeah, like, I had written them an angry email. I'd been like, no, this is wrong. You guys are terrible managers. Here's why, blah, blah, blah. So the manager came in to talk to me the next day and wanted to defend herself and how great a manager Ryan was and blah, blah, blah. And I was the one that was wrong. So it ended up with me just saying, okay, see ya.
Did they pull the whole, oh no, you can't quit, you're fired?
No, like she asked me to go back because I had forgotten to change my work shirt or into my work shirt, and she asked me to go back and get it before I could. I had already told her I was going to quit. I was just going to finish out my week to be a nice person. But she wanted me to drive back a half hour to my apartment and then come back. And I was like, no, I'm not going to come back. I think I had listened to her explain herself and how wrong I was for a half hour. I was very nice. I didn't scream, "Fuck you, you horrible bitch," once. Very polite, as I often am. Even took some of the blame for the kid quitting, though I don't feel bad. But that was the final straw. I'm like, no, I'm just not going to come back. I'm good. And she was not surprised. I think she was trying to push me to leave because I don't think she wanted me to be there anyway. So,
have you worked retail before?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. This seems very akin to like my experience working retail. It's always the worst. I worked fast food retail. Retail's always the worst.
Yes, and it's especially the worst if you do not pay your people well to be there. So that pretty much scared me from wanting to be in the dispensary industry because I just don't have time for that kind of bullshit. I can't have it. So I decided to get in a job for adults and went into the mortgage industry instead, and that has been excellent so far.
There you go.
I'm just in training, but it's all paperwork, and I don't have to talk to anybody.
Oh,
so,
the dream.
Yeah.
The dream.
I know, right?
Let me do my work. Leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It is the dream. I can listen to podcasts again, which I'm very excited about.
Except for
mine. I'll be catching up on yours.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
No, I will. You bastard. Jeez.
Yeah.
I am subscribed.
There's some skippable ones. Mostly the ones that say joined by Beardy.
Nah.
Those
so
are
that's
filler.
what happened with my job. So that was an insane story.
Well,
but otherwise,
it sounds like there's some life lessons to be learned there, and I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we've all had like that crazy ass job experience that that we put up our middle finger and just walked out kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. It was a trip. I went from really liking these people to really not liking them at all and hoping they fail miserably. Because this was not their only problem. They had many problems as a business. Like, I was actually, by the end, I was embarrassed to stay. I worked there. So I was glad to get out. But yeah, it's hard to screw up a dispensary business, but apparently you can.
I was just gonna say, like in Illinois too, like the licenses are so hard to obtain. Like everyone's chomping the bit trying to get their foot in the door, and like for them to fumble so poorly with that, and like a very clear thing too, if you're not paying your people anywhere near a livable wage or even a supplemental wage, then
not even competitively with the other dispensaries.
Right. Like, who are you going to attract? And what's your turnover going to be? And, turnover begets turnover. It makes more people quit, the more people who quit.
Yeah, exactly. So, Jason was fired. I believe his wife, who was the one that told the kid to find his own coverage, she managed the vape store, which was also owned by the dispensary. I think she was fired as well. The kid quit. I quit. Who knows if the Benjamin the kid with seizures made it. I would have walked out if I was that kid and I had seizures and that's what they put me through.
Well, especially if it's an ADA issue where he has to take his medicine at certain times, okay, well now you get to sue them because they made you have a seizure.
Yeah, on property company on their time. So it was crazy. Like And what especially was a bummer was I helped open it. Like, it was a brand new opening dispensary, so I had very many hopes and dreams for it. I wanted it to do well. But man, they just ran it into the ground. Like, they refused to do competitive sales, so their flower just sat there and got old, and then they wanted to sell it for the high price. That doesn't work. None of these things work. But it's just bad business practices all around.
Such beyond a bummer.
Yeah, it was a bummer. But now I'm very excited about my new job, and I'm excited about this new house, and I've been playing some video games and stuff. I don't know. Do we still talk about video games? Is that still a topic we talk about?
Yes, if it's something you want to talk about. If it's,
I do want to talk about.
We have more open options here at the Talking Place. We can talk gaming, or we can talk other stuff that you want to talk about. If you want to talk about knitting for 20 minutes, you can talk about knitting. It's whatever you want to do.
All right, okay. Well, I have been playing. I've been playing some dating sims, but I really haven't played them enough to talk about them. I downloaded Dream Daddy and played like a half hour of that, so that I don't know enough about to say anything about. What I have been mostly doing is playing a text-based game called AI Dungeon. And it is basically, I'm trying to think of how to describe it. Basically, you are given a writing prompt. Like, say you are on a spaceship and you are the commanding officer of, the Enterprise or something. You are now Kirk. You've decided you're Kirk. And you basically write this writing prompt. And the AI takes it and says, okay, now a spaceship comes and starts shooting at you. And you respond, just like you're role-playing with somebody over the internet, back to it. And basically you're just, it's really like interactive role-playing, where you're just typing your section of the story, and then you enter it in, and then you let the AI machine type in the next section. And the AI has been trained on novels, it's been trained on scripts, it's been trained on a lot of internet essays and stories. So the AI does a really good job of telling stories and being a kind of dungeon master.
So is it a dynamic experience then? So does it play off of what you are typing at all?
Yes.
Cool.
So I started playing in this world called Winter Bloom, and it's this Christmas theme world. And again, this is all text, so there are no pictures or anything of this sort. This is just all text. But anyways, it features Santa Claus and elves and all that, and you just play in this innocent little world. And I do what I do all the time, and I set it to not safe for work, to see what happens. And just to see, what happens when you set a wonderful magical Santa story to not safe for work. So one of the quests in the in the story, in this very innocent story, is that the squirrels are stealing candy canes and ornaments from a store. So I go along with this and I start asking around. And because it's set to not safe for work, one of these characters comes in and starts talking to me about these squirrels. And he's like, these motherfucking squirrels keep stealing these ornaments. And I'm going to kill them. I'm going to murder these squirrels. And I'm like, whoa! I have been in here for 5 seconds. Not safe for work was way not safe for work.
So
like immediately.
This is AI talking. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, and you're not freaked out by this at all? That there's an AI computer just like talking about going off and murdering squirrels and all this. This doesn't bother you at all?
Nah. Why should it bother me? It's just text. It's just I mean, they're not insentient creatures. They don't have arms. They can't actually kill you. So, it's just a nice story.
Not yet.
It's true. That is true.
Is there any sort of end game with it? Like, can you win at all?
Well, there is certain scenarios, and there's some trouble. There's a little bit of trouble brewing with AI Dungeon because they've had some censorship issues. So, unfortunately, a lot of these things have been taken down. But I've heard of scenarios where, like, you can play Clue as one of the characters and solve the mystery. You're not like sitting down at a board game playing Clue, but you're acting as like Agatha Christie, Mm-hmm. So yes, there would be an end game when you find the murderer, because that's the natural end to the story. But there is only an end game when you decide it's the end game. You could just keep writing and take this weird Clue adventure on a completely different tangent, and the AI would just accept it until it ran out of memory room. So I guess the end would be when you run out of memory, because stories can only be so big, but I don't know how big that is. And there's this other wonderful aspect of it. You can put in lore book entries. So if you want to get really detailed, what you can do is you can put in these little entries about different towns or different people. Saying the Mayor Lewis is mayor of Stardew Valley and he really loves turnips. And when you mention Mayor Lewis, the AI will remember anything that you put in that little lore book entry for him and reference that. And it might reference just one thing of that, or it might just, bring it up casually in conversation. Or Mayor Lewis may show up completely uninvited, just in entering the scene somewhere without you mentioning anything, just because he is in your lore and he is able to come in at any time. So the AI will surprise you with things. The more detailed you are with the AI, the more the AI can surprise you with things, with more stories.
Yeah, I could imagine how that works. Just pump it full of all sorts of information, and then it'll have more to reach back on.
Yeah, exactly. It can even do things like you can do author notes saying like it's in the style of H.P. Lovecraft or Stephen King, and it'll write like Stephen King or H.P. Lovecraft. It will form itself to that. If it knows who it is, it will form itself to that style. Mm-hmm. So it's very creative. Now, like I said, they've had some trouble, so they've I really don't know what's going on with the company right now. There's some competitors out there. So if you're interested in this, it's not like this is going away. There's definitely competitors out there. But like they had some, it's the internet. So what do you do on the internet? You corrupt things. And you use stories how you would use stories. And that became a big no-no on AI Dungeon. So anything, I don't even know why they even have the not safe for work option anymore. Things are so sanitized at this point. So they've taken away some of their features, like some of their gamification features, which is a little disappointing, but I'm hoping that once they get over this hump, whatever this hump is, that they'll re-add them. But there were things like a judge bot, and I think that's still active. A judge bot would give you points based on if you were telling the story correctly. Like if the story was about Santa Claus, you were talking to Santa Claus, so it gives you 2 points for staying within the story or doing the right thing, and it'll take points away for doing something illogical. But I have just now gotten into it, and it's kind of in this weird area where they're kind of restructuring, so I haven't seen a lot of that gamification. But like I said, if they don't do it, there are other people that have seen this as a workable model that can get money, especially if you don't censor it. So there's I've been trying out Novel AI, which is very good at creating novels. It's really quite interesting. I've also been trying Hollow AI, which is basically HOLO, like the holodeck. Hollow AI is what it is. So that's another interesting one. And then there's a gamified one that's more like the game side of AI Dungeon, which is called Kobold AI. So there's competitors out there if you're interested in it. But if you're interested in it, I think AI Dungeon as it is really fun. And it's still the most advanced out of all of them, just because it's been around the longest. So if you're curious, I would start with AI Dungeon and just see how you like it, because that may be all you want to try.
What got you started down this path? Like, did you hear about it, or what drew you to this?
I don't remember. I think it was a random YouTube video, honestly. Yeah, it was. Like, I saw a random YouTube video about the AI Dungeon controversy, and I was like, well, what's that? That sounds interesting. So I learned about everything that was going wrong with the company, but the company sounded so interesting, I decided to give it a shot anyway, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. But yeah, it's just, I, as a kid, as a teenager, I really loved role-playing. I don't like writing stories just for my own pleasure, but I love role-playing with people, like bouncing creativity off of each other. And doing it with an AI and not having to schedule anything or rely on anybody else is super awesome. Because it kind of, I get my roleplay kick and have a little creative fun, and nobody's judging me on how good I'm writing. There's no pressure. It's very relaxing. Just to kind of go through these nice, like, my favorite thing that I've done so far is I started doing a Stardew Valley world. Because I'm insane about Stardew Valley right now. I wanted to, like, play through their little cutscenes, but make it longer,
Yeah, I could imagine if you're, like, really deep into Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
You like put all that info in there, and then you'll be able to like create your own like little world and your own little personal stories, like
Exactly.
in that universe. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I do a lot of like you would think I would be going in for the blood and gut stories. But I actually do a lot of cozy stories like Santa Claus and Stardew Valley and Alice in Wonderland, that sort of thing, just because it's nice and relaxing. And, the problems that happen are silly problems. It's like the squirrels are stealing ornaments. It's a silly problem. Until somebody wants. You solve it with murder. And actually, that is how I solved it. So I forgot about that. I did murder all the squirrels. So things were handled. Okay.
You don't mess with squirrels, Morty.
I had squirrels in my attic a few years ago. If I could have gotten a chance to kill them, I would have done so.
I had an elf huntress kill them all for me. It worked out really well.
Oh, see, I just had some guy named Steve.
Well,
it's I went wrong.
You should have went with the elf huntress.
Yeah,
So
cooler than Steve.
Yeah. So that is what I've been up to. That's my long story about AI Dungeon. But yeah.
That what if I was to tell you that me and Beardy, we're not really me and Beardy, and we're just AI that constructed itself to sit here and talk to you.
He's there, Joe Rogan.
First of all, I have those programs, and I would not pay for you as a program to talk to me because you're just not very proactive. I mean, you haven't hassled me once to open the app and talk to you. So you're not succeeding at an app. You're not gamifying anything.
Let me just say that if I was AI and I was trying to persuade you to open an app, it would probably be the type of app that you would not want to, have open around people.
Well, now you've just got me interested, but okay. I'll take your word for it. But yeah. No. I don't think you're an AI, Los. Did he 404?
Yes,
Is he not found?
Just straight up blue screened.
Los.gfe.
I think hearing that he was not an AI conflicted with the program, like, well, it's like that logic question of like, if someone tells you that they always lie and someone tells you that they always tell the truth and one of them's lying, which one is it?
Who would make a Los AI?
An unjust God.
Why would you do this?
Oh, probably the kids are up and roaming. Well, that's
probably
exciting stuff.
Yeah. You get a zing on Los, and he's not even here to hear it.
Nope,
so,
I left. I was gone.
You were gone.
Oh, really? Gone or
the kid woke up.
Yeah,
the camera went off. I had to get up, and he was over here. The last thing I said, something about an app or something like that. Like I couldn't say what I really want to say because he was freaking standing right here. So there you go.
Well, now what did you want to say?
I forgot. It's gone. Whatever.
Aww.
All right. So that it sounds like a crazy, like really pitfall kind of a thing you're getting into. This is PC? I'm guessing is PC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but there's an app you can do. But I don't like typing long stories on my phone, so I never use the app.
Yeah. So does Clay 2 know that you're cheating on him with AI? Is that
shut up?
Something like, I mean,
first of all, we don't need. Listen, what I do on my own time is my own time. Okay. But no. He knows I'm playing. Yes, he knows I'm playing with Santa Claus in a completely non-sexual way.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a switch to tick for that.
Oh, but there is, and I could tell you all about it, but I'm not gonna.
That's the line you don't want to cross. You know, be at the mall one day. I'm like, I'm just gonna go sit on his lap. Why? Shut up. Shut up. I'm going.
No.
I need this.
Oh, I just put Coke in my nose, and it was the drink kind, so so it wasn't pleasant.
That's wild. Is one of those one of the real Cokes or just your garden variety Coca-Cola?
Just your garden variety. I don't have real Coke money. Kidding me? I just started this job.
It's gotta get that promotion. Look, Ma, I got the real sugar Coke.
Oh, we call them Mexicokes because they only come from Mexico here.
That's a good name. I don't know why I never thought about that.
I don't know. They're awesome, though. Glass bottle. It's awesome. Have you tried the real sugar Pepsi?
I think so. That was really good. I've been rolling the Topo Chico lately. Kind of the same thing because it's like a LaCroix, but it comes in a glass bottle.
Oh, does
it's
it?
Like, yeah, it's extra bubbly. So just it's like the most righteous burps ever. Just
So
nice.
So when did you start getting checks from LaCroix? Because every podcast that we have, you bring it up.
Well, now Topo Chico.
Keep switching up those sponsors.
And what is that? What is Purple Chico? What is that?
Topo Chico. It's another sparkling water.
So it's the competitor to LaCroix. LaCroix wasn't cutting it anymore. Duh.
Well, no, it's its own thing. Topo Chico, they usually have that like Mexican restaurants and stuff. Like if they have,
because I'm Hispanic, I know what they serve in Mexican restaurants.
Well,
I'm saying they have it in Mexican restaurants. I'm not saying you should know that because you're not even Mexican. Puerto Rican.
I'm not.
But yeah, so it's there. It's like a sparkling water. They have like the regular, then they have lime, and then they have grapefruit. Very limited. LaCroix has all the flavors.
I don't know. I'm not. I have not been making sparkling water money. Maybe now. Maybe I am making sparkling water money now. I don't know. So I don't know all these fancy things.
Your Coca-Cola has like flavor and has sugar in it. I can just afford the bubble water, okay?
The fancy ass bubble water. That's more than a Coke. I assure you.
I don't know. I think they actually are comparably priced. And then with the LaCroix,
They might be.
I
know the bubbly is not that expensive.
Yeah, it's like the same thing. They're in the same aisle, literally.
Yeah.
But I like to put a little dash of the fresh squeezed lime juice right in that LaCroix, and it makes it sing. Woo. No.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Yeah, that sounds awesome. I want to try it now. Just at a Mexican restaurant.
So yeah. So I don't.
We'll have limes.
Plenty of limes. I'm not Mexican, but I know that. But so we covered AI, Santa Claus sex apps, and now we hit the quota. We hit the quota for Beardy's LaCroix sponsorship that he's got going on. So what else is going on? Are you doing anything else Skari that is not on PC? Are you doing anything console wise? I mean, that's what everybody listening to this and knows who you are. They want to know what you've been up to for gaming, I'm sure. I mean, that's what you're known for around these parts. But if you're not doing anything else for gaming besides, talking to Santa about killing squirrels, is there anything else going on besides that?
I'm trying to think. I have not been playing. Like the COVID depression got me hard, man. I have not been playing games that much. I played The Sims a lot, but there's only so much you can say about The Sims, and it's really not a good franchise anymore.
Yeah, that's what I heard from you.
Yeah.
Before, so,
Yeah.
do you want to get into to what like, you know, how COVID was for you? I mean, it's been a long time since people heard from you. So, you know, you disappeared off of the face of the earth for a while, and
Mhm.
it was from COVID and all that stuff. And you know, I think back, and I look back at 2020 and everything that happened and all that. It's like we were in a quarantine for a while, and it's just like an empty void in memory, you know, because it's like we didn't do anything. But it's hard for me to remember back like how the days were spent, you know. It's tough to think back and to think, okay, yeah, so during quarantine we did a lot of this and we did it, but it's like, what really happened, you know, during that time? Like, what you were suffering from depression and I'm sure a lot of other people were. Like, what is it that like helped you get by for everything? Like, how did it affect you guys over there where you were and all that?
Well, I remember very well kind of what happened because I've thought about it some, and what had happened the end of 2019. I had gotten into a really good routine with nothing. I had just quit HealthSmart, and I was kind of finding my stride with being a stay-at-home mom for the time. We were doing all of these, you know, activities. We were going to the library. I was going to the gym every day for an hour, and I could drop her off there for an hour, and it was perfect. Um, so we had a really, really excellent routine, and I felt like I was getting somewhere with my mental health and all that, because I've discussed on the show, um, chronic major depression, and it got especially worse with Netha because of my postpartum. So I was finally really getting to a healthy spot in 2019 after all that postpartum had kind of cleared up. And then COVID happened, and suddenly everything was taken away. And I had no way to really get out and do anything. And Play 2 was suddenly home all the time. Which for me, like, completely threw off my routine because we had to be quiet because he was in the living room. So we were packed in this tiny, dingy apartment that I could never get quite clean enough because the floor would flood every 3 months. And we were just trapped like rats.
Mm-hmm.
And I just fell into a really bad depression, and frankly, over medicated. I did not handle it. I way over medicated. And I had to work through that and kind of get back to a healthier spot. I worked with my therapist some, and worked with my psychiatrist and all that. But it really took me finding a job and finally getting out, and some of the COVID kind of not going away, but easing a little bit before I started getting out. I think I would have eventually, but getting the job and actually getting out and seeing people and just being active was what really helped. So that was a good decision.
Yeah, that'll do it. I mean, it's always good to have, like, you know, you love Clay too. You love your family. You love all the stuff and everything that you do day to day and all that. But it's like when you put it together with something as crazy as, you know, the quarantine, the pandemic, and everything that happened, it's really hard to try and clear your thoughts with a lot of it. So so you know, it's amazing that you don't hear, like, you know, too much about like everybody going crazy and suffering from some sort of, like, you know, depression or stress from you know, the past few years, that, well, for you the past year and a half of, you know, what's been going on. So, you know, to get that job and to, you know, step out of the was, it's not a rut, to step out of the routine that developed, you know, with the freaking thing with the quarantine.
Pandemic?
Yeah, the pandemic.
Oh, the quarantine.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's basically, it sounds like, you know, you had these great routines set up, which were then supplemented and replaced with bad routines.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
nothing,
everything
basically.
Yeah, like everything that was great was just replaced with everything that was bad. So like,
Yeah.
all the high points were kind of shaved off.
Yeah, like and it was rough. It was very, very rough for me as a mother, just trying to survive the day. Because I would get to nap time and I would fall asleep immediately. I would be out cold for her entire nap. And as soon as she got up, I'd be up again, and then just all of her attention was on me, and I had nothing to give because I was just at a low point that I was immediately sucked dry of all energy, just all the time. So it was really, really hard to mother from a place like that. I did not do the best. I feel bad because some of her earliest memories are going to be of me being sick.
You're breaking up.
Oh, okay.
I think we got the most of that. You feel bad. Some of the early memories are gonna be what?
Yeah, are gonna be sad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because she's like 4 now, so she's going to remember some of it.
Yeah, I'm constantly worrying about the type of memories that my kids are gonna have. You know, it's always a daily thought that goes on in my head, like, you know, wondering what it is that they're gonna retain, what are they gonna be, you know, carrying with them the rest of their lives. Because I think back and I don't remember like much of anything from my like early years. You know, I'll remember like a big thing that happened or like, you know, really random stuff, but I can't really like recall like certain things of the way my parents did things, or, you know, what we did day to day and stuff like that. You know, it's hard to really think back to that. So I guess I have like a little moment of, you know, thinking, okay, it's not really going to be that crazy. You know, I'm always worried that they're going to grow up like hating us or resenting us because, you know, we don't let them do, you know, crazy things, or we don't let them, you know, go play outside by themselves. You know, it's like they're always constantly like complaining about something, like not looking at the good stuff that they have.
I know for sure that one of Wade's earliest memories of me is going to be of me popping his balloon. Because we gave him balloons to play with one day, and it was time to like wind down. And we're like, all right, bud, leave it alone. And it kept on going back, and we're like, no, we need to put it away. We can play with it tomorrow. And it just kept on going, escalated to finally, like, dude, I'm telling you, if you touch that balloon again, I will pop it.
Oh no!
And so I threw the gauntlet down, which I should not have done. And then he's like, well, I want to play. I'm like, no, it's time for bed. We must go to bed now. Go upstairs. And he runs over to the balloon, touches it, so I just grab it and pop it. And then just instantly the sad cry, not like the angry, it's like the hurt just starts coming out. Like, he popped my balloon. And then I'm like, well, maybe he won't remember that. Then like months later, like he was laying down with Jess one day and just said, like, yeah, it was like one time when Dad popped my balloon. Like, oh. There it is.
Yep.
Made the first memory and it's sad.
Yep.
Congratulations, big guy. You did it.
Yay. Oh,
nowhere to go but up, baby.
Oh. I still remember that time the Trees was talking podcast, but he was talking about how sometimes you just gotta flip a television of your 9-year-old stepdaughter's out on the lawn and just show them who's boss.
Yeah,
Jeez.
exactly.
Like,
It was exactly that moment.
Oh, like yeah, Trace knows what's happening. He doesn't put up with no guts. So yeah, I mean, I've been like I said, things are great now. I'm feeling really happy now. We got out of that apartment. The apartment was terrible.
I'm sure the apartment must have been like a huge like weight on your shoulders, I mean, it's because I know when we lived across the street from where we are now, when we lived there, it was just a constant, like every day, like we gotta get out of here, it was just like it was the one thing that we could find when we were trying to move from North Carolina back here. And it was like the one thing in this area that we could find that was going to be available and that was in our price range, and it was rent, and it was like, all this stuff. So it's like the only thing that fit. And when we got there, it was like, it was nice, like when you looked at it, but then when you started living there, it's like, holy crap, it was just like so much wrong with it. And there was so many things that was like so bad, and it was just like a dark mark on, your day-to-day life. So
yeah, like towards the end, it was hard to even clean it. Like it was so depressing in there. Like I would pick up a little bit and try to keep it, clean, but like you always felt like it was dirty just because of
flood.
What's that?
What would cause it to flood every three months?
Oh, well, we lived on the bottom apartment, and it was built in the 80s, and the plumbing just wasn't good. It would just get backed up and flood into the hallway every 3 months.
Sounds like fun.
Grief.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And we had bed bugs too. I didn't even get it.
Nice.
It was
Wait, during
not
a quarantine or separate time?
Just before quarantine. So
dude,
the summer before. Like it was some rough times. It was bad.
Yeah, we were where we were like backed up to conservation. Like like it was a tree wooded area, that was
so you probably had all sorts of ticks and stuff.
We had roaches.
Oh.
And we didn't know we had roaches until they started coming out, like, a little bit down the line. It was during spring, summer, when it started to rain a lot more. That's when started coming out. We had, pest control come out, and he was like, "Oh yeah, this is one of my regular areas here, like this whole little community here, because it's all the wooded area is just, they migrate to the homes here, so we know this area very well." I was like, "Oh, that's nice, that's great." So yeah, it was not fun at all dealing with that, because it was. I remember one day, I made a roast pork, and I made it, and we had to leave to go do something really quick, so I just took it out of the oven, left it on the oven, and
Oh no.
came back, turned on the light, and like 5 or 6 roaches like just scattered away from it, and it was like, we need to fucking go. We need to get the hell out, because I'm about to burn the shit down.
Oh, that's terrible.
The Florida roaches are like 2 roaches duct taped together. Like, they're just giant.
Oh man, and it's so bad. And with all the rain we've been getting, there was one outside flying around. I thought it was a moth. No, it wasn't a moth. And and we were trying to get inside the house, and it flew inside the house. And yeah, so that was great. That was like, I was like, "Move, get out of the way," and I'm like trying to get the kids out of the way, and the kids are like, "Why are you going so crazy for?" And it landed, and it was like, "It's a roach." Yeah, it's a freaking roach. Move. And I had to like freaking do some little personal exterminating right there.
Gross.
Yep. They're all over, I guess. The rain is their friend, and yeah. So if it's not, I guess I'd rather have a roach than a gator or a snake, rattlesnake. But yeah, bugs suck. What are you gonna do? I swear, we're not dirty people. It's just, the area.
Well, that's what you feel like when you have bed bugs
Yeah,
or roaches
exactly.
or anything. Like, oh my gosh. You feel like you can't go anywhere. That was our first quarantine before quarantine, because we couldn't go anywhere because we were afraid to, because you can carry bed bugs on your clothes. So that was like 3 weeks of hellish packing. We had to pack up all of our stuff so they could spray down our apartment.
Jeez. So
we just left it packed. We left it packed.
Yeah.
Because at that point we were just like, bullshit. And of course, like the closet that didn't have nowhere near water, so we didn't think it would flood. Of course, any box that was at the bottom had some water stains on it, and of course some of my books. So that pissed me off. That the apartment had no reason to exist anymore. It was bad, and it was and the bad thing was that it was just the management company changing. Because we had been with them for nearly 10 years, all of our married life.
Yeah.
And when we lived on the top floor apartment, everything was fine. And maybe it was just fine because we lived on the top floor.
Yeah.
That's weird. I thought you did live on the top floor for some reason. Like, I remember like yelling at the kids with the basketball, but then that's when we went to the bottom floor then?
That's when I went to the bottom floor, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, after that, and then the management company changed, it just went to hell. So.
That's usually how it works.
Yeah, exactly. But the house you guys are living in now is good, right?
Oh yeah, everything's good. It's just
that's good.
There's nothing going on inside. It's just all the wildlife outside. That's it. Nice,
where it belongs.
Known as Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, we had the new AC put in like a month or two ago, and that was fun, going without an AC for a few days.
Oh my
So
gosh, yeah.
that was great. And yeah, everything else is good though. It's like we we love the house. It's going up in value like every month. And you know the whole thing with the pandemic and everything. There's people all the time looking for homes here in this community, the zip code, and it's been dry as hell. So it's like when you hit the market, you could sell for crazy amount.
Yeah, the problem is finding anywhere to move to at that point.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. So, and it's like we're at the point now. We feel like we're hitting the max capacity in this house for stuff, and it's just gonna get more and more because you know the baby's gonna grow up and she's gonna get more and more stuff. You know, and
Yeah.
and all that. So it's like we gotta try and figure out what we're doing. That's we were trying to get stuff done to our front room. We have like when you come inside the house, there's a huge open room that's basically the dining room. That's where it was. It's technically the dining room. That's where that's what it's called. You know, in the plans and everything. But it's like this huge open space, and it's like I don't know. You see my pictures. It's where we have the Christmas tree, the bay windows where we put the Christmas tree. It's just like a big rectangle. So we put the table in the little breakfast nook area, like in front of the kitchen. It's like you know it fits, and it's like you know it's good for the table. And we got big huge IKEA shelves where we put them like right in the middle of the big open space. So now my wife is trying to move her office to where we used to put the Christmas tree. She's trying to put her office there, and then the other side is like for board games and stuff like that. Like you know when we're all gonna be playing board games and stuff. So it's like we're trying to maximize as much space as we can, you know, and we're in the middle of trying to figure out like exactly how we're gonna work the office and where everything's gonna go and all that. And we got a lot of stuff to clean up, a lot of clutter here and there, you know. It's just it's a headache and a half trying to move everything around, you know. But I know the one big thing that is probably like stopping it all is the garage, because the garage is like just full of all sorts of boxes and stuff that you know, stuff that's been in boxes since we first got together.
Oh no.
You know, since we first moved in together, there's still stuff in boxes that haven't come out of boxes ever since then. They've just been moving around with us everywhere. So we gotta go through that and just get rid of a whole bunch of stuff. And then once the garage is clear, like we'll be able to pack stuff up in Tupperware and like put it in there better organized and all that, clear up some more space in the house and all that. So it's just a matter of stopping being lazy and working on the garage.
I tell you that I know it's kind of become so cliche that it's been almost a meme-ified, but that Marie Kondo lady with her magic of the clean house or whatever it's called, that really helped me clean out a lot of stuff because it was really organized.
The Beardy rule is basically if it's under $50 and I haven't used it in a year and it doesn't have any sentimental value, I'm gonna throw that bad boy right in the trash.
That's a good rule.
But you see, I get so attached to everything. Like I am so sentimental. Like it's ridiculous. Like
really?
I have none of that. None of that. It's things like I know when my grandma died, she had a desk. It was not a good desk. It was like all scuffed up, beat up, whatever. But we took it because it was my grandma's, And so I found a different desk that I wanted to replace it with. It was actually functional and looked nice. And they're like, oh no, but that was your grandma's. Yeah. She went to the store, said, good enough, I'll take this. Brought it home and probably hated it, just like I hate all the furniture in my house.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's stuff. It's all things.
Yeah.
I'm horrible. I can't do that. I would have had that desk forever. Like it would have been it would have been everywhere. We recently we uncovered a box of stuff that was from like years ago. And in this box it was a bag of peanut M&Ms.
What?
Dude.
And it was because it was saved. It wasn't just like a regular bag of peanut M&Ms.
I'm sure.
It was a bag of peanut M&Ms that was themed for Star Wars episode 3, I think, that we went to go watch in theaters. So it was like, we bought it and I was like, oh, this is a cool little, memento kind of thing, and I saved it. And we ate popcorn and all that stuff. We didn't wind up eating the M&Ms. So I just put in the thing in the little movie shelf thing that I had, not thinking, and it just got packed away for like 15 years. So it's and I felt the bag, and the bag was just like, it turned into one big M&M.
Oh no.
And yeah, I threw it away. Stop judging me, Beardy. You're just saying I feel you. Just like,
Look, I'm not totally heartless. At the same time, when my grandma died, we also we got some of these juice glasses, because whenever we would stay over there, she had these really like kind of cool, like small brown juice glasses with like flowers on it. And I remember her always making breakfast, like when we'd all stay over there, and drinking orange juice out of those glasses. And so that was like a nice memory that I had associated with it. So I kept those. But the old crappy desk turned into some kindling. Who cares?
Yeah, I think
it wasn't like something she used. It wasn't like, because I even asked, like, do you remember her being there? Like, no, it was all scuffed up because like it was in a side office that everyone would like bring over like Christmas gifts and boxes and just put it on the desk. It's like it was always covered.
Listen, Beardy, the worst thing you can do to your children is make them deal with your shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's
bad.
This is making me think, like, maybe when we get older, we're gonna run through a list like, okay, this stuff here, just toss it. There's nothing, like, I'll have a list of stuff, like, to keep. And
yeah,
my sister's more of a Los, so I think if anything, I'll just be like, well, if you don't want it, I'm going to throw it away, so you can take it somewhere. So really, it's gonna become her problem, because I won't take anything.
Yeah, I'm constantly trying to tell my parents this little situation, that we're describing here, because they, like, you hear me, I think you have a pretty good idea of how I am. They I get it from them, and they have, like, a good 40-50 years on me, of collecting stuff and getting stuff. So they have about three maybe 4 different storage like units in their backyard. Just in their backyard, like full of stuff. Like there's one that has boxes and boxes and boxes, like full of boxes of stuff that they packed up from when they moved here to Florida from New York, and that was back in 2001. So it's 2002, sorry. Yeah, so it's like they have so much crap. and their house is like furnished with like old antique furniture, very very grandma kind of stuff, and they don't want to get rid of it because they feel like it's expensive, so they don't want to toss it and get new stuff because they feel like it's something that they could sell for a lot of money, but they don't want to sell it because they can't find somebody who wants to buy it for the amount of money that they want to sell it for. So, so I'm telling them, I told them numerous times already.
Mom, Dad, let me explain capitalism to you.
This is very boomer logic because my mother-in-law is the same way. This is worth good money, and I'm not gonna sell it for any less.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so she has everything from ever ago. She is truly a hoarder, like truly bad. I think I've described it before. But yeah, like I have no hope for this woman. But you I have hope for. You can become better, Los.
Yes, I could become better. I have a very 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 good feelings that I'm going to come through and not be this bad of a hoarder, but it's gonna suck because like I said, I told my parents a few times already, like, you guys got a lot of stuff and you need to be going through it now because your guy, like, I told him, I was like, straight up, I was like, you guys are getting older and you're getting, more and more, harder to do, like, more hands-on stuff. Go through it now, because when you get older and you get to the point where you can't do it anymore, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to sit here and go through all this stuff. And I've been telling them, like, look, you need to go through it all, sell it, get rid of it, clean out everything, just sell the house, get a condo, because they're beyond, like, they keep refinancing the house, they keep doing all this stuff, and it's like they're in this big ass hole in this like 40-year-old house that's like falling apart all the time. And it's like, I tell them, like, why do you do this? Why, like, you could sell, you could fix it up, fix up this, fix up that, sell it, get a condo, live, freaking worry free next to a beach somewhere, and it's like, it's a perfect life that they would love, but they're not hearing it. They need the house because it's it's the perfect size for all their stuff that they're holding on to and trying to.
It's not about the house; it's about the stuff in the house at this point. Like, my in-laws just did that. They just sold their house, and because it's like top of market, because they're late 50s. And they're seeing the writing on the wall. So they sold their house, they're moving into a condo, and they're banking all the money because they've had the same house since the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are they retired?
No. Another couple years. My mother-in-law, she, pre-COVID, whatever, was watching the kids full time. But now, that's kind of up in the air because the two of them, they got COVID, and they've been having some post stuff that's really not going too swell for them.
Yeah.
So the future is kind of up in the air, unknown what's going to happen if she will watch the kids full time again. Probably not looking like it. So then that's the other thing we have to think about, like, for the fall, which I'm happy and horrified is like 2 months away. Like, like Lily will probably start school in 6 weeks.
I feel bad for my kid. She missed out on preschool. I'm gonna have to homeschool her because we moved kind of right when, like, I couldn't get her enrolled before we moved, and I had to wait for proof of our moving after we moved. So by the time we got around to it, everywhere was filled out. So we're doing preschool by homeschooling.
Mhm.
I really wanted to get her into school, like real bad. Just for being around folks,
Mhm.
Yeah, we got Wade in. He's going 5 days a week, but it's only 2 hours.
Yeah,
So it's something.
something. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go on.
Oh no, that was basically the end of the train of thought because that will start in the fall. So right now they're not in anything. Well, I take that back. Wade does an online preschool thing, which if any interest in that, just for a little
Yes.
mini socialization, it's like $20 a session, I think, and it's like a
Oh.
half hour, and like it has like kids from all around like the country, or
Oh.
it's like a little Zoom class, and the teacher's great. And then also through that same program, we have Lily doing a science camp sort of thing once a week, and then also she started taking piano lessons.
Oh wow. It's online or in
Yeah,
person?
online.
Online.
It's really cool. Like, and I like it in part because like it's pretty affordable too. Like for that reason of like I don't know if she's gonna stick with the piano. She's been kind of interested in it, and but
Yeah.
it's her and like three other boys for like a half hour session, and it's like 20-30 bucks.
And
So
you don't have to drive anywhere. There's not all
right.
that time wasted. Oh, that sounds magical.
Yeah, and then you just put on the camera and they can look at the. Because I sat in, it's like Tuesdays at like 3. So I sat in because I didn't have any meetings at the time and kind of watched how he teaches because I've taken music lessons before, and like the way he does, he has like a multi-camera setup. So you're like, okay, watch my hands, and he'll have his hands play. It's like, okay, now watch this, and he'll like switch around the screen to the hand. So he has this whole setup where it's very efficient, and I think in some regards might be more so because he can show you on the screen exactly what he wants you to see
Hmm.
versus I'm pointing at you to look at this, now look at that.
Hmm. Yeah. What's the program that Spade is in? What is that called?
That's what I'm trying to. It's through the same. It's like some company that does like all this online schooling stuff. I'll get
It's not Connection, it's Academy, is it?
that sounds vaguely familiar. I'll have
Because
to ask.
I was looking for something for Netha for preschool, at least for something.
Mm-hmm.
Because Clayton's here in the all day. He works from home now, so he could, set it up. But yeah, absolutely. Get me the information on that. I would like to look into that.
Is he home for good, or are they
Yeah, I
talking
think
about?
so.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, he will certainly push for that. But I think what they're doing is he works for Dell, and I think they are keeping the building for training new people.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're keeping most of the people that have been trained already home, just because it's more cost effective.
Yeah, and the training, I couldn't imagine trying to learn like a new job remotely at this
Oh,
point.
well, that's a funny story. Remember that job that didn't work out?
Yeah.
So that was the job that didn't work out. I worked for Dell doing exactly that, trying to learn remotely. And it was a nightmare. It was just I did not fully appreciate how much like being in person and just being able to reach over and point at something on a screen instead of having to explain it or type it or whatever. And just the company culture, like all of the things, is very, very important when you're starting out in a company. Not so much later on.
Yeah, I found too, like with the whole in person bit, with a lot of like or at least every company I've worked for, if you're learning, it's very self-motivated, so you pretty much have to impose yourself on others. Like, you have to be able to know where they sit and go walk up to them and ask them questions. Otherwise, you're just pinging them on Skype and you don't get the tonal inflection of, can I trust you? And you miss a little bit of like the gossip of who to talk to, who not to, who knows what. It's lost via text, or you can call them, but then the video cuts out, and yeah, huge pain.
Yeah, and for me, what happened was I was training to be an over the phone tech helper person, so doing tech work for people working for Boeing. So there were like literally 2,000 programs. You could never learn it all. You had to look up help pages to tell you how to fix things.
Mm-hmm.
But there were like 40 of us, and they split the class into two chat groups of 20 people, and between 3 and 4 trainers. And after we got out onto the floor, or onto the queue, I guess I should say, we would have to like keep these people on the phone thinking that we're knowing what we're talking about while we are desperately trying to get the answers from this chat. And it's much faster, of course, just to talk to somebody when you're training them instead of taking forever to type. So there would be like these 5-minute lags where you're trying to keep the customer, happy and thinking that things are progressing while you're waiting for this text to come back. And for me, it was just way too daunting. So I ended up quitting after 3 days of being on the phone. I couldn't handle it. I was actually doing very, very well. I was one of the better students in there, but the pressure of just trying to pretend that I knew what I was doing when I clearly did not was not having it. And just like, it's just a very high pressure job, so it didn't work out. But yeah, I think the reason they hired so many people at once is because the dropout rate was very high, and I think that could have only increased doing it remotely.
Yeah, they have to have known.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
not high turnover where I'm at now. It's kind of mid-range, but for the first time ever, I saw someone who, welcoming this person and a little bit about them, and then like 2.5, 3 months. So the training's comprehensive. Like, it's a very long training to get onboarded, and then I just saw like their last day is Friday. Like, I've never seen that happen where someone didn't hang through training. I've seen people not flourish and get let go, and I've seen people, leave a year or two later, a shorter than longer tenure that you would expect, because I'm going to have 4 years coming up next month. So, no plans on quitting. We'll see what happens, but it's like one of those things that I've never seen the training go poorly before. But like, that has to be what it is, the X factor.
Yeah. I think just that physicality of being in person really helps make you feel comfortable as a new employee. It's very hard to get personal with people just only meeting them through text all the time. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we go back 2 months from today. Yeah, it's not going to be full time. It'll just be 2 days a week.
Yeah. How are you feeling about that?
Okay. I will say they made it mandatory that you have to show your vaccine card to take your mask off. Otherwise, you have to do daily COVID tests and wear a mask in the building.
Wow.
So I'm sure someone's gonna throw a fit, or they're gonna do the passive aggressive thing where they don't wear the mask properly, and I still get concerned about that stuff because my kids aren't vaccinated and their lungs suck, but not the way they're supposed to, as in crappy lungs, not they suck air. So that's what has me the most worried, that like we are going to have to put them back into school. I don't see them doing remote again for Lily. They're definitely not going to do it remote for Wade. So they're going to have to go back. It's been too long at this point. So,
they canceled it here.
What's that?
They already came out and said that there is no remote learning this coming year. So it's not even an option here.
Yeah, I doubt it's going to be. The one thing I hope is that for the kids, they keep the mask mandate for schools and for like hospital situations. That's what it is up here right now.
They also said that there's no mandatory mask for schools. They came out with that, and like people got pissed. And I think like people were afraid that it was going to be like you can't wear a mask, like like, hey, this is not part of the dress code kind of thing, like it's because it's fucking Florida, and the fucking guy in charge here is a fucking idiot. So yeah, I think they came out and they said that if you want to wear a mask, you could in school, so it's not like it's gonna be not allowed or anything. So our kids, they've been pretty good with masks. Like they know what's going on, like they always know to keep it on and everything whenever we're out. And it's gonna suck with them in school. Like I have faith that they would keep it on all the time.
Especially like Seb that age, that peer pressure.
That's
that'll
what
get you right quick. He sees one cute girl not wearing a mask. That mask is coming off.
Yeah, that's exactly how it's gonna be, because I could totally see him like, oh, I'm gonna wear my mask all the time, but then if there's like a group of friends that are not wearing them, or somebody says something to him about it, then he'll be the first one to be like, oh no, I'll take it off, and there goes everything that we've fucking man.
Well, have they been vaccinated yet? I know Lily can't be.
No,
she's way too
the
little,
boys,
right?
The boys are not age yet either. So
what is the age? Like 11?
12?
Yeah.
12? Okay, yeah. That's why I haven't vaccinated Netha, because I thought she was too little. She gets regular vaccinations, of course, but haven't done the COVID.
Yeah.
But that's scary. At least Seb can get the vaccine soon.
Yeah, he'll be all right in March, but that's months into the school year. So
they're saying this fall though, it might be available.
Yeah,
and honestly, I don't see a lot of parents jumping at it. Which I get. It's your kids. You want to see other things, see what's happened, because it's been an incredible undertaking of science and getting everything, the logistics, new technologies, getting it rolled out effectively. But not to say that there have not been vaccine injuries.
No, yeah, you never want to take that risk if you don't have to.
Right.
And that's tough, because it's one thing for me to take it, because there's a sort of, when you're the parent, that you feel a sort of immortality. I'll be fine. But if your kid takes it, oh no, the worst might happen.
Right.
So that worries me sometimes. But if there is a vaccine that's available that is age appropriate, that's safe for her, I would definitely get it.
Yeah, and our hand is kind of forced by it too, because they both have asthma, Like
Yeah.
they're on Pulmicort as a preventative, like doing breathing treatments every winter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like part of our nighttime bedtime routine is getting them all jacked up on steroids before they go to bed.
Nice. Yeah. So, but yeah, I can't see Netha wearing. She's just too young to be trusted to wear a mask full time and not take it off.
Yeah, that's the same thing with Wade. Like Lily can do it no problem. Like, and all of them fit her so good.
Mhm.
But for him, like he's also our wild child. He doesn't listen to anything.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
gonna be a real dice roll.
Yeah, and oh gosh, the children's mask. Like she was always hanging her nose out. I could never get that thing to fit right.
We
Ever.
found one brand that was really good. It's a also send you that too.
Okay.
It's a like washable up to like 99 times, and actually
Nice.
is like a 5-layer 99.9% effective, and so it's like of like the N95 grade.
Wow.
But it's actually very breathable too. So it's one of those, again, panic spurs ingenuity. And so
Yeah.
they created this. They've got it like independently lab verified that it does work as effective as they say it does.
Yeah.
And you can wash it a bunch.
Yeah. Well, I definitely like to get her something better because I don't like I don't think the masks are gone forever.
No.
I don't trust it anymore.
Yeah, I think we discussed it in previous show. Scary whenever you decide to download those episodes, but we
to get the backlog. Yes.
yeah, I think we brought that up, that we just don't trust anybody. We still go out with a mask. We are by far, like, most of the time we're the only ones out with masks on. You know, so it's very
Even
much
here
don't
in like
trust
liberal Illinois.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
I do not go with a mask out now that I've been vaccinated. I don't. But
Yeah, which is the guidance.
Yeah, once that new variant comes around, you know, I like that's the first thing that's going to happen is we're going to have to pull the mask back out. So, you know, I'm worried about the fall.
Yeah, that's exactly when we're going back, which is like great. We're going back for the first time, like during cold and flu season. So, like,
yeah.
I'm sure like the first time we get the sniffles, we're just going to be freaked out.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I freaked out thinking I had COVID just a couple of weeks back, and it was just, you know, sniffles. This was right before I got vaccinated. But yeah, that was not a fun experience. I don't want to be running to get COVID checked every time I get a sniffles, but
they have like the self thing at the rapid test at Walmart now.
Yeah, that's what I did, and it was actually not too bad.
Okay, cool.
It and I was a little worried that I wasn't pushing it up far enough, but like I just pushed it up as far as she said, and it didn't hurt because I was controlling it. Yeah, and it didn't really feel that uncomfortable either. It was fine, really. So no big deal.
I might have to get one of those kits just for because it's kind of like not an if but when. Like it's gonna happen.
Oh,
where
they sell them in kits now?
Yeah. They sell them in kits in Walmart.
Oh,
like, it's like $20 for 2 tests or something.
Oh.
I think it might even be a saliva test.
Oh. Interesting. Well, so the only problem with that is how would it wouldn't keep up with new variants, right?
That's a good question for Doc.
Yeah, that's a good question for Doc.
That's a really good question. I'd imagine maybe it would just detect a coronavirus.
Yeah, maybe they're so similar. I don't know. We'll have to ask Doc. Yeah, we'll have to ask Doc.
All right. So I think we covered a nice big chunk of Skari's life.
Yeah.
We got family, we got work, we got fun. We got Santa and squirrels and all that good stuff. So
Yep.
So is there anything to say before we start heading out? Like anything get off your chest for whatever? Like I don't know.
No, I just want everybody to know that I was just giving Los and Beardy a hard time at the start of the show. I really was not expecting, like, not waiting with bated breath near my phone for Los to call me to invite me back on the show. Fine. So no, I really was just giving you guys a hard time. But no, I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be back in the community. I'm hoping to be an active member again. So it's been good. I've been enjoying my time on the Discord.
Yep, we try.
To have you back.
We try to do it. We try to do a good thing there.
Yeah. Happy to be back.
All right.
Great thing has been like 3 years since we all talked.
I know it doesn't feel like that long, but it has been.
And let's just get that out now. We tried to actually make this a whole Future Monkeys reunion kind of thing. We invited Voss, we invited Annie, we invited Jen, but Voss and Annie, I think they were both willing to do it and wanted to do it, but their schedules and timing and all that stuff, they couldn't get on at this time. And I think Beardy was talking to Jen, but
she
had some other stuff going on.
Yeah, as far as I know, she's still doing hardcore casuals, but I don't know what their recording schedule is like. I don't know if it's kind of sporadic.
That hasn't updated my feed, I think, since like November.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more, I don't know if it's on a hiatus or just kind of like whenever they get the time to record. So I don't know. I'm still behind on my podcast. I don't know.
Sounds like you're keeping up to date on that one. But
well,
anyway,
I just see it on my feed every once in a while on my face. I keep up. Listen, all I do is I post funny memes on Facebook. That's all I do these days. So occasionally I'll see it scrolling by.
Okay. I'm tired.
All right.
So it's been my wife's been on vacation. So this like the schedule's been like crazy off. It's we wake up, we go to bed later, wake up later, so it's like it's been throwing me off like around the same time every day. I just get like super tired for some reason. So yeah, Skari, is there anywhere you would like to point people at, like to follow you, who maybe don't know who you are?
I'm really not very active on the interwebs anymore, to be honest.
Why is everybody doing that? It's like I feel like I started to like, disregard like all the socials and everything like that, and it's like everybody's doing that now. It's like a thing.
I'm on Facebook. You can find me there. If you know me, you know me. If you don't know me, you can ask for my name on Discord.
Yeah.
But you can always find me there. You can find me on the Discord. I do answer messages when I get Discord messages. And I try to be active there. So really just the Discord is where you can find me if you like my funny jokes. And I'm sure I'll pop in every once in a while when Los invites me. I'm always willing to come and chat. So.
Yep. Yeah, we gotta do something else. See what else we could set up and go from there. I mean, can't have you on too regular because then, what the fuck we kill the Future Monkeys for? It's it's already.
I believe that distinction goes to me.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, not salty about that anymore, guys. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, it's a constant mental struggle. It's a debate. It's an inner debate every time I get on to record with Beardy. It's like, hey, it's me and Beardy again, and it's just like it's like an echo, and then it turns into a flashback. It's like, what are we doing? Like, it's the most like messed up like abusive relationship kind of thing, like you break up with somebody because you don't want to do it anymore, but you're still living together, you're still going to all the parties together,
way too much thought
you're still you're still doing everything together, you still talk, you still hang out, that's exactly what it is.
It's exactly what it's like, Beardy. I don't understand how you don't see this.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like the idea of being Los's romance option.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
In this AI story, you two are now romances. So, sorry.
At least we're gonna have awesome meals.
Yeah.
At least you will. Oh well.
You see, when the AI takes over, we're gonna be like up there in its priorities of worlds to create.
Yeah, and we'll have all this data, this voice data on you, so it'll act just like you. It won't answer a straight question.
Yeah, exactly.
Or give you a straight answer, I guess I should say. It will take the most indirect route to any conversation. So, it'll be awesome.
I don't know. Beardy's not that bad. He doesn't do that much. But
you.
Oh.
Yeah,
shucks.
I think I texted him that there's some, like, I don't know, we've been talking about Rick and Morty a lot because I've been on that kick for a few weeks. So so I said that there's some parallel universe where it's just a planet full of Beardies and Loses, and like a whole bunch of different pairs, like from different dimensions, like just populating an entire planet.
I don't know that I could deal with that.
Nope.
No. I don't think Beardy could deal with that.
No.
You might be able to deal with that.
I don't know who I'd hate worse, the Beardies or the Loses.
I don't know. Do you think he'd start hunting them? Is this like the squirrel situation where the only option is just to kill them all?
I think so. Pretty easy to kill us, too. Just like put out a little charcuterie board, like, ooh. They're like, what was the new Traeger smoker? No! Smash.
Oh. A Nintendo Switch? What? Oh no!
All right,
individual toe socks. Kapow!
See, now we're just giving everybody ideas on how to kill us. We gotta cut this off. So, Beardy, you well, there's you don't like to socialize either. We're all the same. Yeah, you're the original anti-socialer. So, is there anything else before we sign off?
Nope.
All right. So this is the Talking Place episode something, and that's Skari, and I'm Los, and that's Beardy. So peace out.
So are we PG-13? Are we rated R? What? How much do I not need to curse?
You can curse. That's fine.
I can curse. Okay.
I try to hold back.
Yeah.
It comes out sometimes. I would like to try and not curse,
Okay.
but I do it.
Oh, it's
I do it
first time hearing of
sometimes. What?
First time hearing if I never asked that question. I just been letting it fly.
Yeah, you know, because it's like when we're talking, it's like I forget, and I usually curse like a sailor everywhere all the time. So
Yeah.
so it's like I could try really hard, but then like it still
Yeah.
comes out, you know. So
Well, I still remember the story of me saying the F word in front of Vegas's neighbors that he was pissed at, and I was like, "Oh man!" And of course, it would be me that screamed F or whatever. But yeah, I can obviously not say fuck. I've learned how not to
That's very
with a
impressive.
child. I know it's good.
Yeah, that's it. That's really coached me up on it. Like I broke like a glass or a bottle today, and I actually yelled, "Gosh darn it!" I was so proud.
Nice. That's a full dad move.
I don't know. We when the oldest was born, we were like very conscious about a lot of stuff, and you know we didn't curse. We tried to keep him away from all sorts of like toy guns and you know all this stuff on the TV. We'd you know it'd be very specific thing, and he got older, and I guess I think it was when he started school that he started getting introduced to stuff like you know the stuff that we were taking away. You know he was getting introduced to it by like other kids who
Yeah.
were not the same. So
Yeah.
so we were like, you know what, we just let it go, you know, and you know let him learn the things here at home rather than out there, you know, because I'd rather him, you know, pick up stuff here and know that it's from us than, you know, pick up stuff from out there and like not and try and hide it and all that stuff, you know. So we're like the worst parents. we curse like sailors here and all that stuff. The kids don't curse, but they know like what's the bad words and all that stuff. So it's like they know not to say the things and all that. But
Yeah. Well, I tried to keep Netha away from curse words for the most part, but Clay too does not curse at all. Like if he says "damn," you're like, "Oh shit, what happened?"
oh yeah.
It's scary when he curses.